Hello, I'm FYX and so Bedrock will never have those cool caves, or will it? And there's been a lot of concern with questions about whether Bedrock will get the caves from Java, or whether Java will get the mountains that are currently only on Bedrock, but the simple answer to this question is that when 1.17 comes out, it will have all of the features from both platforms combined into one place. The first update they properly pulled this off with was 1.16, which as you can see right here, despite being different versions on different platforms, released on both Minecraft Java and Minecraft Bedrock on the same day, including broadly the same features, and so don't worry, the same thing will happen with the caves and with the cliffs. But that raises the obvious second question, which is, so when is 1.17 coming out? Does anyone know? And the simple answer is that for the longest time, we've only had this clip from Minecon Live of last year.
When are we gonna get the caves and the cliffs update? It's a good question. So we plan to release it summer 2021.
So Mojang have very deliberately been very tight-lipped about saying anything more than that. If you ask them for a release date, they'll just say summer 2021, which is better than we've had for a lot of previous Minecraft updates, but I know if you're excited about this update, a whole season, a whole quarter of the year isn't good enough for you, and that's why this brand new article, which was written just this last week, might be really interesting, because as you can see, important news regarding Minecraft on Android and Fire TV, which you're going to want to know about even if you don't play Minecraft on those devices, but if you are playing Minecraft on those devices, did you know they're dropping support for Fire TV Gen 1, Fire TV Gen 2, and Android KitKat OS V20 and below. That means that a lot of lower-end devices will no longer be able to play Minecraft as of, according to this, June 2021. That is the date of the discontinuation that is happening, and that is a really interesting date because that is in summer of 2021. I wonder what's happening in summer of 2021 that might require them to drop support for Android and Fire TV, because they're clearly keeping the support going for an additional 3 months. They're not just dropping it right now, they're waiting 3 months until what seems to be the last possible moment, and then they are officially dropping support. So what might be happening in June of 2021? It sounds to me like the Caves and Cliffs update might be optimistically aiming for a June 2021 release date. So the simple answer here, I'd love to be like, aha, this confirms the full update will be out on June the 1st. I think instead what this says is that even now, even as late as March, where, they still know exactly how much they have left to do for this update, they still believe that they might be releasing this update in June. Because if someone tries to tell you a confirmed release date right now, they are lying to you. Even Mojang themselves might have a tentative release date, but the truth is this update is going to get some amount of delays. Every Minecraft update for the last very long time has been delayed somewhere near the end, but it seems as though June is still a release date possibility, and that is incredibly exciting because most of the time when a deadline is given, like summer 2021, you can just be pretty sure that that means August. That means August 31st of 2021 if it doesn't get pushed back even further than that. But it seems as though, maybe because of the pandemic, maybe just because they gave a lot of time to work on this, 1.17 is not going to push to the end of the deadline, which selfishly I don't like. I'll be in New York at that point, and I'd rather be at home to enjoy the cave update to its fullest, but we'll see how it actually ends up going, but I'll keep you updated, if you forgive my pun, while we move into the next comment, which comes in from Joe.Biden. So are Nether Caves going to get revamped as well? So first of all, you should be doing something with the Oval Office, not focusing on the Nether Caves, Mr. Biden. But second of all, it does seem really logical that in a cave update, they would also update the Nether Caves. I mean, End Caves is a bit of a stretch, but Nether Caves makes sense because they are a type of cave. This is the Caves and Cliffs update. However, even though Nether Caves would look amazing with an update, I think they could really do with one. Sadly, they have confirmed that Nether Caves are not going to be a target of this update, and that is kind of sad to me. It seems as though they should be going for Nether Caves as well. Nether Caves are kind of boring, could do with a real update, and given that we just had the Nether update, it's not like we're going to have a second one anytime too soon. Be great to tie in the two updates together, but they have confirmed that Nether Caves are an entirely different thing for some future update to deal with. They're not increasing the height limit of the Nether, they're not changing the Nether Caves, and that is the current stance that I'd love to see changed, but again, I'm just telling you how it is, even when that's not so great. But what I would like to talk about is LJ Bryson's comment, which says, Toycat, do you think there will be glacier caves of some form in or near mountains? And we're going to ignore the last part of this comment, but what I am going to say is that glacier caves are something that entirely makes sense, because right now, mountains in Bedrock don't have any caves in them whatsoever. That tells me they likely want to have different cave logic on the inside, and rather than just having the normal dripstone caves, lush caves, etc., I don't think any of those make sense, especially especially at the heights that mountains have caves. They could obviously go the no cave route, but that seems really boring. I think instead what they're going to do is they're going to have a type of cave that can only spawn under the mountain, and the glacier caves, again, any type of frozen cave, is a really fun idea for that. We've seen them talk about how mountains are going to be kind of an exploration-based thing, and you can't just walk over the mountain biome and be, excited for very long, but if there are caves to explore, I think maybe you just can, especially if there's something unique you might be able to find in there. So glacier caves, very fun idea. Are they confirmed yet? No. Are they likely? Incredibly, but we don't know how many cave biomes they're doing this update. We've only heard about the 3 we've seen so far, or the 2 new ones we've seen so far, plus the one we have, and then also the deep dark, but I hope that there is more than that. But this is the eternal hope we have to deal with every single week. But what we don't have to deal with every week is questions like this one from Donkey267, who says, why is she always called Lady Agnes and not just Agnes? So Lady Agnes is the lead developer for Minecraft Vanilla now, so very exciting for her. But in case you're curious as to why she's called Lady Agnes, it's not because she has the title of lady, it's because that is her in-game name. Her actual, name in real life is Agnes Larsson. She is very Swedish from that name, as you can tell, but also Swedish from the fact that she speaks Swedish. Yeah, she's based in Sweden, and she works on Minecraft, of course. But yeah, her Minecraft name and her Twitter name are both Lady Agnes. I'm assuming, based on her, explanation of her survival world, she likes role-playing in the Minecraft sense, and, therefore, Lady Agnes. It's a more formal, proper title. I couldn't tell you fully why she decided that, but Lady Agnes is how the community generally refers to her, just like how the community calls Jeb, Jeb and not Jens Bergenstein, or people call him Notch and not Marcus Person. I guess these days people refer to him as not very much at all, but wait, Notch very much at all. Okay, that was bad. I'll admit that. I'll take the fall on this one. But what I won't take the fall on is this next question, because Ja says, Toycat, why don't you make a video literally just walking in your Let's Play to the Farlands in 1.17 and see how much mountains you find? This is a really great comment. I would love to raise awareness for how rare mountains are in 1.17, except no, this is a terrible idea. This is the sort of one that sounds great until you actually think about it. Do you know how far away the Farlands are in Minecraft Bedrock? They're 12.8 million blocks away. If we divide that by 4, which is the rough number of blocks you walk per second, ignoring sleeping breaks, eating breaks, all the other sorts of things, then it takes this number of seconds to walk to the Farlands. If we convert that number of seconds into hours, it is 871 hours. In other words, what I would need to do is I would need to spend every waking moment of just over a month walking in Minecraft non-stop just to prove some point about mountains. It would be almost the end of April by the time I was done. That is a bad idea. I will not be doing it, but thank you for the suggestion. It just, wasn't a very good one. But with that said, let's move into the next comment here, because Ainsley Cook says, wait, where does he even live? So I mentioned in my London video that I live in London, and therefore you might be able to assume that I live in London. I do. I right now live just outside of London, but I actually, if you haven't heard, I just had a house offer be accepted. I am going to be moving to London, technically, like barely within London, but I'm going to be moving to London in the near future, and I'm super excited about that. I mean, living inside of cities is basically just impossible in most, heavily populated parts of the world, right? Like, who gets to live in Manhattan? No one does, but I get to live in the UK equivalent, I guess, because that's how Manhattan works. And with that said, let's move into the next question here, because this is Q&A Saturday, except it's on a Sunday. You know what, should we just pretend this is just responding to comments? This is a series that definitely doesn't exist anywhere else on my channel, and that's why I answer questions like this one from I'm Cozy. Is it just me that never gets bothered by phantoms ever? I never see them. And you know what? It is just you who never gets annoyed by phantoms. It is just you that thinks they're a good idea, because look at this. This is a interaction where Felix Zilifan, a Minecraft developer, tweets out, hypothetically, if I were to delete a biome, which biomes would you want to escape my wrath? And then he Mark Watson, another Minecraft staff member, says phantoms, delete them, the phantom biome, and then someone else responds, please get rid of / change them, instead of constantly joking about them on Twitter, and he responds with a gif saying no, and then he responds, and this whole Twitter thread is just a few minutes ago, by the way, but he responds saying the problem around phantoms is more important than the mob itself, otherwise we'll just create more phantom-style mobs over and over again. They're not so bad that they need entirely removing, and doing that means rethinking where their drops appear and affecting balance there. So basically they're saying, yeah, the phantom's bad, even developers themselves willing to admit, it's just, it's not so bad they need to be removed. I disagree, but I like that at least even developers are like, yeah, Phantom's not our best work. We can do better. And admittedly, that was something the community voted for, but you know what? The community votes for bad options. Do you need more proof? With that said, though, I've got one last question of the day, which is from Elliot Dordley, or Duatley, who says, what is your favourite type of UK food? And it's commonly memed on the internet that there is no British food, although actually the chicken tikka masala was invented here. But you know, there's no actual UK food. But whenever I leave the UK, there's pretty much nothing that I'm like hugely like homesick for or miss. Like, you know what? Nando's is nice, but you can get equivalent or better things everywhere else, you know? All the things that you actually think you miss, they're not actually British, and they're also not unreplaceable. But something that is the concept of, you know, like fish and chips, sure, like it's just fish and chips, but the part of it that I really miss is saveloy. It's this big red sausage that I just haven't seen anywhere besides the UK. It is kind of weird and gross, sure, but they're so tasty, and they're so tasty that when I got this image to load up, I got so hungry looking at it that I decided I'm gonna delay my stream tonight, which is happening just after this video goes live, maybe just before. I'm not sure how this works, but I'm gonna go get myself a saveloy, because this looks like it looks like it's covered in paper. It looks so gross, but it just, to me, it's like, yeah, I need that flavor. I need it in my mouth. I'm gonna go to a fish and chip shop and hope they're open. And in the meantime, I hope you have a good day. I hope that you don't die waiting for 1.17, because it's coming soon, and that's the big message behind today's video. Red sausages are tasty, and 1.17 might be coming in June of 2021. What else has changed? Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions for next week's Q&A Saturday that won't be on a Sunday. And with that said, I hope you'll enjoy, because I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.